good, YouTube? Slender Revolution X here. Guys, ban list was released earlier this morning. Pretty amazing ban list. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. I'm going to run through it here real quick. Just for those of you guys who haven't been able to get the Yu-Gi-Oh website, know exactly what we're talking about. New format, coming January 1st. Looks to be a pretty promising format. They got rid of a lot of gimmicky cards, so a lot of my concerns have been relegated. It happened. It's nice to know that these cards won't be around any longer. So without further ado, guys, let me dive into this. Alright, so the new forbidden cards are Dragon Ravine, Return from the Different Dimension, Self-Destruct Button, which it's a gimmick card. And you know, I respect that they banned that. Because you're moving towards a more game-playing format, like a more you have to win. There's not going to be any one card that wins it for you type of game. And last but not least, Sixth Sense. So, we finally saw Return from the Different Dimension and Sixth Sense banned. Like I said, I had a feeling Sixth Sense was going to get banned. I think it was only a ploy to sell Joey's Worlds. So it's nice to see that get banned because it's too much of a ridiculous card. And same thing with Return. I think we all kind of saw Return coming because I don't think they could have had anything else. Like it couldn't have stuck around. Even if they did completely banned every dragon, I don't think Return could stuck around because it's a single-handed let me win the game with this one card. And Dragon Ravine, I think they banned Dragon Ravine strictly because it wasn't being used for the purpose it was used for. It was essentially supposed to be used for Dragunities, and with dragons being an actual thing, it needed to get hit. Just because it was overpowered, and it was only overpowered up to this point. And I think the same thing goes for Return from the Different Dimension. Prior to Dragons being released, Return was a good card, but I don't think it was a great card. And same thing with Dragon Ravine, because there wasn't that thing that put them over the top, whereas Dragons did. I mean, Dragons offered you a constant removal every turn, you know, and same thing with Dragon Ravine. Dragon Ravine offered you being able to get dragons to the graveyard to remove. So the two kind of go hand in hand, and it was nice to see them get banned. That's it for the new Forbidden cards. The new to 1, all the dragons went to 1, which I think is great. I think that allows them to be played the way they were originally supposed to. Not together, but apart in their own elemental specific decks. So we may see some play, like a Redox here or there played in zombies, or if scraps came around. You may see a few dragons being played in Six Sam, because there's a lot of different elements in that. Karkuri Girgia, we're still going to see the Redox played in that. So it's nice. I think this is the way they were intended to be played. So it's nice to see that actually come to fruition. And Debris Dragon went around. Remember I was talking about Debris Dragon? Not a lot of people were talking about that card. I think it did need to go to 1. Especially, I mean, and now that all the dragons are at 1, it did need to get banned. So it's nice to see that. It still gives you a little ability in the plant format kind of thing. So in the plant deck kind of thing. So it's just another card that I think was okay. And I think one of the big headlines, the card that came off of the Forbidden list was Magician of Faith. That is amazing. It's nice to see cards like that around again. And I don't think Magician of Faith was, justified in being banned. Still, I think that card is good. I don't think it's great. So in this state of the game today, I think it's good, not great. So it's nice to see that come off. What else do we got on here? Divine Wind of the Mist Valley and Final Countdown. Divine Wind of the Mist Valley offers loops. They don't like that. And Final Countdown, like I said, that looks like they're trying to get away from the gimmicky kind of wins. So that's kind of cool. Sacred Sword of the Seven Stars. Okay, I mean, with dragons going down to 1, I don't think you're going to see a lot of that card being played. So that I think that's neither here nor there. Spellbook of Fate, that card needed to be limited. With that card at 3, I think, especially without dragons being around, I think Spellbooks would have kind of ran rampant. So I think that needed to go to 1 as well. And it's not like they aren't going to be able to use it because that deck does a lot of recycling, but having 3 of them or 2 of them in a deck is really overpowered. Now to the semi-limiteds. Chaos Sorcerer, which was at, 1, is now at 2. And Lone Fire Blossom is now at 2. That's amazing. That's allowing for some plant players to get back into it. You have a lot of the stuff there. Granted, you don't have Glow Up Bulb, but that card is insane. I think it's because it can be played in every day. So I think it's smart to be able to do this way. And now the guys that were semi-limited or limited and are no longer limited. Christia, which is awesome. That gives some agent players a little more boost. I know some agent players don't like Christia. I think Christia is an amazing card. I think to have a boss monster that you do not need to tribute summon is good in any deck. So having that along with Hyperions is amazing. Mizuki and Plague Spreader. So zombie players are probably rejoicing. They're probably singing at the top of their lungs right now because Mizuki going to 3 was one of the things that needed to happen for zombies to become relevant. I don't think it being at 2 did anything. I mean, clearly this is what they essentially did last format. Put that at 2, put Plague Spreader at 2, see what happens. There was literally, I don't think I ever saw in any event that I went to a zombie deck that ran them. So they were like, why not put them at 3, and if they do something at 3, they might get limited again, things like that. TG Striker, I don't think TG Striker ever really needed to be limited. TGs are good, they're good, not anti-meta, I want to say good anti-meta deck. But I think TG Striker essentially was limited due to the fact that somebody won a YCS running 3 of them, and I think they said we need to do something about this before it gets out of hand. Never really got out of hand, so it's nice to see TG Striker back up to 3. Tour Guide from the Underworld back to 3. A lot of people were excited about that, but you kind of question whether, essentially, let's take a look back. Let's take a step back and look at when Dino Rabbit was big and when Tour Guide was at 3. Your opening play 9 times out of 10 was into Zenmaines. Zenmaines isn't that great of a card anymore. So I think that doing this is just making a lot of people happy, and it's kind of opening up the book to what can you do with this, because I don't think it's overpowered anymore. So that's kind of awesome to see that. Constellar M7 didn't really see much, you saw some play with it at 1, so they figured why not put it at 3. And Fire Formation Tenki didn't really change much when it was at 2. So I think putting it at 3, it doesn't really hurt anything. So, but that's the rundown of the list, guys. Those are only the changes. It's not the whole list itself. If you want to see the whole list, go to the website. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But other than that, guys, I'm pretty excited about this. I think finally having a format again without dragons, I don't want to say they're dead because I think it would be too cliche. But having them at 1, I think you can't really consider a deck dragons. So I think with this new format starting January 1st, we're going to see a lot of different decks come to the forefront without dragons being on their high horse, and people can stop playing those decks where you just splash in 3 Iron Wall strictly to beat dragons. So I think it'll be something nice. It'll be a nice, refreshing change to the game. I think I'm going to put together a video of what I think may be good next format. Give me some feedback if you guys want to see that. But other than that, guys, I'm pretty excited. Like I said, it's going to be a whole different game coming January 1st, so be ready. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Maybe click an ad here or there. I'm not too worried about it. If you have anything to say, leave it in the comment section below. Love to hear from you guys. And as always, guys, subscribe to join the revolution today. This is Slender Revolution X signing out, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.